Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Mamash. Dear brothers and sisters, it's an honor for me to be here today, represented so many youth around the world. Yes, I started 11 years ago a project of peace education, Live in Peace. Why? Because I spent 30 years in Middle East, always in situation of war. When I arrived in Jerusalem, I was shocked. The first day I work as a teacher in a school, Arab school. One boy, 10 years, raised his hand and asked me a question. Mister, can you tell me what means peace? I said, what do you want to know? What we can do one day where there's no war? I was shocked because I realized that those kids, they born in war, they grew up in war, and they never had one day of peace. But a few months later, walking in the Jewish area of Jerusalem, an explosion of a bomb happened exactly to the place I was walking to. So suddenly I found myself on the floor, plenty of blood, between people dead, people shouting, asking for help. And I realized all those things, I saw it in television, in cinemas. Now it's a part of my life. Now I live in a country of war. And when I left the hospital, I left with a question in my heart without an answer. Me, Carlos, what I am doing for peace? What is my role to change this culture of war and culture of peace? I didn't know. Just a few months later, going to pray in the old city of Jerusalem, I was attacked from a group of Palestinians with stones because they thought I am a Jewish. I was in a corner, I couldn't escape, and the soldiers, Israeli soldiers, started to run to help me. And I knew that if they come on time, they take the youth to prison in very bad conditions. So I told them, go fast before they arrive. One running fell down, and I saw blood in his leg. For me, it was spontaneous to take my handkerchief to put in his leg to stop the blood. And I told him, go fast. 3 days later, someone dropped in the door of my house. A big surprise was that boy that wanted to return me my handkerchief clean and a bread that his mother prepared for me. And I understood from the bottom of my heart that if I want to contribute to a culture of peace, I have to start with a culture of love. No sentimentalism, but really be ready to give my life. I spent 12 years in Jerusalem, and then I went to Lebanon. It was the war. I passed most of my time underground in the refugees. And then to Iraq, and was the beginning of the war. How many experiences you can imagine when you touch the suffering of the people, and especially the painful to see your student dying. Most of the victims are children and students. I remember one day I was at school and the alarm started because the missiles started to fall down. And someone came to the classroom to collect the children, to deliver the children one by one in their house. They were crying, looking for their mom, their father. It was normal. So I felt there, my children, my students. Please, I have to go. I have to deliver them. I insist, and they gave me the permission. So I start with 10 kids, hand by hand, in this hard situation, to deliver one by one the students. At the end, I said, I go to the school just to pick my things and go home. When I went to the school was not there anymore. During my time, during the trip, imagine, a bomb destroyed completely my school. And I was shocked seeing my colleagues maybe, well, they were there. And if I did not make this short, small act of love, maybe I was there too. So that made me stronger to go ahead, but only this question, I have to do something, I have to do something. And it was in Cairo, some years later. working in an American school and start the Spring Arab Revolution. Again, the same drama. And I say to myself, it's enough. I have to do something. So I create a dice that I call it the dice of peace. As you see, a small dice with sentences in the place of numbers, with very simple sentences. Love everyone, be the first to love, listen to the other, to forgive one another. Very simple thing. And with drawings. And I went to the school and I said, look, this is the dice of peace. Every morning we will throw the dice. The sentence is up. This will be the program to live for peace all day at school. And 10 minutes before we leave, we will share our experiences. So we remember that sentence, how we live for peace today. And every day, 12 o'clock, to make a time out for peace, a moment of silence or reflections of how I am living for peace. So, incredible. A change, a big change for the student, because it was like if I offer a glass of water in the middle of the desert. They start to live these experiences. They start to share something incredible. The boys that renounce to play football in the break just to be in the class to help those who has problems to finish the grammar exercises and so on. Parents start to be involved, teachers start to be involved, and all the school was involved. Even the lady who cleaned the toilet, she showed me the small dice, said, this is my dice. I throw the dice, this is my sentence. The cafeteria, everyone, the drivers of the autobus, everyone living for peace. And very often, 25 school asking me to make a project. I said, I have not a project. So I create this project, Living Peace International, Living Peace. Because peace, we don't do it. We live it. And peace starts in our heart when we love. Inner peace, first step. I give what I have. If I don't have peace, I will never, ever, even if I do great things, but without peace. So live in peace, be the protagonist. Peace depends on me, not on others. I am the first who has to build peace, first in myself, and then around me with the nature, with the world. And so this simple idea started to spread all around the world. And when the kids, 15 years old, proposed me to write letters to all presidents around the world, for me it was something strange how we will do it. We sent more than 100 emails. Believe, after 1 week, 10 days, the first answer, President Obama from the United States and his wife, saying, you start a path of peace education. The Kingdom of Spain, the President of Ireland, the Nobel Prize of India 2012, Minister of Education all around the world. And I said, what's going on? A dice of peace made all his noise. I felt from the bottom of my heart, here is the finger of God. Here starts something new. In fact, now this dice is all around the world, and they create their own dices. Look at that. For example, in Spain, they create the interreligious dice of peace. Each sentence corresponds to one religion. In Philippines, the ecological dice of peace. In Belgium, the dice of peace for the nature. The psychological dice of peace, the dice of peace for ethic, for music, for art, for economic. Incredible. These 12 students today are 2 million. Was one class, one school. Today, 2,000 schools, 500 universities, 94 universities, organizations, international organizations, and we have Scout, Rotary, Lions. The dice arrive in prisons. With the prisoners, they throw the dice in their cells to live for peace. So what is today, Live in Peace? Today, this is a big net. We have all these students from so different countries, from some 134 countries around the world, all the cultures, all the religions living for peace, being protagonists of peace. So that is living peace, a project of peace education that made all of us protagonists. Let me end with one sentence that I love it very much from the philosopher from China. Make more noise a falling tree than a forest growing up. We are all in front of this falling tree. Are the news, the bad news that are unfortunately exist. But there is a forest. We are the forest who growing up in silence. Let's do so many summits like this one, because we, with the summit, give voice to the forest. Because the forest is much more than the fallen tree. Thank you so much.
Sir, grazie mille to the highest for adding immense value to our session through your words of wisdom. Now, let me cordially invite Dr. Homi B.